Hey guys, it's John, and today I'm going to be doing something that I did before, but it's kind of been outdated because of various updates. So what I'm going to be doing today is some basic redstone tutorials, and this is going to be a series where I basically build up the sort of difficulty of redstone and what you can do with it. And eventually we're going to get into harder stuff and it's going to be quite cool. So I hope you guys don't mind who already know how to do a lot of redstone things, but I have had quite a few requests of doing basic redstone stuff, and yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up this flat land map. It's just a sandstone map every time I make a new video, so it'll be updated with all the contents that was in the video and everything. So and the reason why I use sandstone is because it's really quick to mine if you don't use like Instamine or something, and yeah, it's just really useful, so that's why I use sandstone. But today I'm just going to be running over the basics of what we can do with redstone, and then I'll show you guys a couple of uses of it, and then in later videos I'll be showing you guys much better and more experienced or more harder things that you can do with it. So yeah, anyway, let's get to the tutorial. Okay, to start off with, I'm gonna sort of explain what redstone is and what you would use it for. So here is a redstone torch. A redstone torch is made the same way you could make a normal torch, but instead of using coal you use redstone, and it's just like that, and then you get one redstone torch per recipe. So what we can do with the redstone torch is power redstone, and redstone is a on and off state sort of thing. So always either on or off, and as you can see here is on because it's powered by the redstone torch. Redstone torches give power off, sorry, didn't mean to do that, in other directions they give it power down and up, I think. I'm not sure exactly how many blocks are, but I'll put a link to the Minecraft wiki for redstone stuff, and you can seek more information there. And here are other various ways of powering redstone. Here we have a button where we just press it and it powers it for a couple seconds. Here we have a lever where we hit it and it's on constantly, and we can turn it off and it's off constantly. Here is a wooden what's it called? Wooden pressure plate. Wooden pressure plate, you can either stand on it and it will activate, or a mob could stand on it and it will activate, or you can put drop an item onto it and it will activate. And the difference between a wooden pressure plate and a stone pressure plate is it's only activated when you or a mob will stand on it. So if we drop an item onto it, it doesn't activate. One downside of using redstone is that the current from one power source can only travel 15 blocks, as you can see here. The redstone current will stop here, and the reason why we know it's activated because it might look like it's unactivated, but the redstone is flickering, as you can see there, and the brightness of the redstone gradually decreases until it's eventually not activated at all. So to get around this, there's a variety of ways. We can use either an inverter, a classic repeater, or we can use a updated repeater. So here we have a redstone repeater. This is the updated repeater, and we can put it around about into the middle, and you can see now the piston is activated, and we can turn it off and turn it on. So when you use a repeater, the redstone will now travel another 15 blocks until it's deactivated again. And you can just keep using repeaters and you can make your redstone current go on forever. A good thing about using repeaters is you can add on delay. So if I was to add a 3 delay to that repeater, as you can see there's a slight delay of it activating, but we can keep on adding repeaters and put in tons and tons of delay, so then it'll just be delayed much more, as you can see. There's a variety of ways we can make use of this, but I won't show you guys that just now. Another way I said of repeating a redstone current is using an inverter. An inverter looks like this. All it does is invert the current. So, as you can see, when we activate this redstone, it deactivates the redstone torch, which deactivates this redstone. But if we deactivate this redstone here, it will allow the redstone torch to be activated. And the last way of repeating a redstone current is using a classic repeater. Not very many people use these just nowadays, because the new repeaters, these ones here, are much easier to build. But this is what a classic repeater will look like. As you can see, it just repeats the redstone current like the new repeater, sorry. So when you activate this redstone, it deactivates this redstone torch, which will allow this redstone torch to be activated. But if we deactivate it, it allows this redstone torch to be activated, and then we'll deactivate this redstone torch, which doesn't carry on current, and we can just use this like this. Another use of redstone and pistons is that we can use it to control water or lava. So let's say we had a water source here which flowed along these few blocks, and let's say that we wanted to cut off the flow whenever we wanted, and yeah, so all we would really need to do is we could use a piston. So if we had a piston here like this facing the water, all we really need to do is have redstone attached to it and have a lever here, or we could have a lever right next to it, like that. And to make this look a little bit nicer, what we could do is also just quickly block it off. We could dig down 2 blocks under here and put down a sticky piston, and then put down a sandstone block, and then put back our water source. So now what we could do is dig underground and find where our piston is. Our piston should be around about there. So we can dig underground, we can have our redstone going underground, we could have it hidden somehow. I'll make a video of how to hide redstone in another video. But now, as you can see, the redstone will cause the piston to push up this block and block off the water current, and then we can deactivate it again and it will let it flow again. Another use for redstone is powering minecart tracks. So let's say we have a track here like that, and we could also have a power track here, and we could place down a lever next to it, or yeah, above it or below it, and we can power it using the levers, sorry. And what we can do is put a minecart on top of the track and power it. But this doesn't actually have any speed, so it's completely stationary, which means it won't actually be powered by the power track until it's actually moved, even if it's not, even if it's barely moving at all. So what we can do is put a block behind it. So this means it's kind of bouncing off the block a little bit, and when we press the lever and activate the powered track, it will move. Another way of doing this is we could also have the power track go down onto a slope. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. Have it like this. So we could have it come down here onto a slope and just have it going again. We can have our minecart there and put down a lever, and then it'll move down the slope. Redstone could also be used to make a trap of some sort, so we could use it to either activate TNT, we could use it to activate lava, or control lava, or we can make a dispenser and fire arrows out of it. So at the moment when you hit TNT it doesn't activate or anything. It used to be that you could place down TNT and hit it and it will activate automatically. But now what we need to do is, I'll come over here, a little place we wouldn't really care about. What we need to do is have a redstone current along it and then activate it. So I put down a lever, that will activate the TNT and it will eventually explode like that. So that's one way of using a trap. We could hide different ways of using TNT. You can hide it and everything, and I might show you guys that in a later video, but here I'll show you guys other traps. So we have a dispenser here. What we could do is put in arrows into it. So if I find some arrows in my too many items mod, find some arrows here and put it into the dispenser, what we can do is have once again a redstone current flowing into the dispenser here. Have it hook up to a lever, so if you give it power it will shoot one arrow. Other ways of improving this trap is that we could hook it up to a clock, and I'll explain what a clock is in either this video or a later video. But we can also use a button, which is slightly better for this, which means we don't have to put the lever on and off. We can just hit it once and it'll fire the arrow. And if we come over here, this is where the lava could be used. We'd also need to use a piston, and we could have the lava blocked off. Then we could have your victim walk into a room and accidentally walk over a pressure plate, as you can see over here. Pressure plates will activate when you walk over them. We could hook this up to a pressure plate, and when the victim walks over it, this could be on the roof or something, and then a hole could open in the roof and lava could flow in. There's so many different ways of utilizing this concept. So let's say that you wanted to activate something that was quite high, for example this dispenser here. So if we put some items into this dispenser and we had no way of activating this dispenser from down here, what we could do is link this dispenser up with a redstone sort of ladder. I'm not sure what the technical name is, but this is what it looks like. There are redstone torches on blocks, which will look like that. And what we could do is give a current to this block, which will turn off this redstone torch and turn this one on and turn that one off and turn this one on. So it will basically just carry a current in an upward direction, as you can see. And we can utilize this and make it activate this dispenser here. So let's say we wanted this dispenser to be activated. All we really need to do is make a really large one of those. So now all we could do is link this up with this torch, and if we activate it, it will activate the dispenser. No, it won't because I haven't linked it up. There we go. Now it will activate it, as you can see. Another thing we could use is we can open iron doors. So as you guys will probably know, if we put down 2 wooden doors we can open them like that. But if we put down 2 iron doors over here, we can't actually open them directly. I'm going to quickly break this one and place it down again because it doesn't seem... there we go. So what we could do is we could link this up with redstone and open them. So we're going to have redstone current coming down here to a lever here. Where's my lever? Here it is. And have it there. Actually I'm going to have it on top of a block because I'm cool. Like that. And then we'll have this redstone current coming around here to open the door. So at the moment you would think that if we gave both the doors current, that they would both open at the same time. But this isn't the case. This is just how doors will work in Minecraft. If you've got them both right next to each other, when you give current to one of them, the current will be the opposite for the other one. So if we give them both current, one will be open and one will be closed. So what we could do is, if we look over here, I showed you guys what an inverter does. It inverts the current. So if I were to turn this on, it turns this redstone torch off and turns this redstone off here. So we could utilize the inverter and put it over here. We can put it here, and there we go. Now we can have both the doors open at exactly the same time. We could link this exactly the same. We could link this exact same circuit up with wooden doors as well, and I'll quickly do that just now. And there we go. Exactly the same circuit, and it does exactly the same thing. And now of course we've also got the very basic things, is opening a trapdoor using redstone, or we could activate a note block using redstone. So that's about it for the basics. I'm going to go over this and check if I've missed anything, and I'll have lots more videos gradually getting harder about redstone, and I'll give you guys this world for you guys to play around with if you don't really know much about redstone. But yeah, that's about it, and I'll see you guys later.